Nothing in this world is permanent, and we are foolish when we ask anything to last. But surely we are still more foolish not to take delight in it while we still have it. That's a quote from W. Somerset Maugham. And I wanted to use that quote and talk a little bit about a life lesson that I think is very important for all of us. Nothing in this world is permanent, and we are foolish when we ask anything to last. But surely we are still more foolish not to take delight in it while we still have it. Wow, is that true? I just had to repeat it. I'm wearing the Korean Martial Art Federation Festival t-shirt from last year, 2022. This shirt was made in honor of Grandmaster In-Won Kim. Now, at the 2021 Korean Martial Art Festival, Grandmaster Kim, he did a presentation, and the cancer had really weakened him. He was not the same as he was previous years. You could tell physically. His mind and the spirit and the never quit attitude were still there. And Chief Master Thomas Gordon made this t-shirt with the tiger and so forth in honor of him. And it says, quitting isn't an option underneath the tiger. It was in honor of In-Won Kim. Grandmaster Kim did not make it to the 2022 festival. His health wasn't doing real well. And he actually passed away the morning of the Saturday of the festival. So while we were there, we learned of his passing. Some of you last week listened to my broadcast about Grandmaster Michael Di Pasquale, who passed away last Saturday. He was another teacher at the Korean Martial Art Festival. He was 70. In-Won Kim was only 60 when cancer took him from us. Nothing is permanent. On this picture here, we have Grandmaster Rudy Timmerman, who was teaching in his 80s. But he also said it may be the last Korean Martial Art Festival that he can make because travel is becoming much more difficult for him. He travels down to Florida from Canada, and it's becoming more difficult. Now, I sure hope he is there next year. But we have to face the fact that if not next year, one of these years, he won't be able to make it. And he even recognizes and acknowledges that because of his age and the difficulty of traveling. And he's a lot older than Michael and In-Won, who died at 70 and 60, respectively. Going to say good morning to Eric. Good morning. Happy Pizza Friday to you too, Eric. Now, I don't want this to be depressing, but I'm sharing this because these grandmasters who have been part of this event for many, many years will not be there again. I mean, I hope Rudy will be, but Michael and In-Won will not be there again. Everything changes and nothing is permanent. And that's why, again, that quote hit so hard. It would be foolish not to take in delight in things while they still have them, while we still have them. I know many, many people that have said, yeah, I want to make the Korean Martial Art Festival one day. One of these years I'll make it. And I hope people do make it if it's on their list to do. But they have to realize by waiting, they have missed some fabulous instructors. Dr. Hae-Young Kim, he was teaching these last number of years. He's in his 80s. How many more years will he continue to teach there? I don't know. Hopefully many. I mean, Chief Master Gordon has already said that if Grandmaster Rudy Timmerman shows up, if Grandmaster Kim shows up, they got a spot on the floor. If they want to sit in a chair and tell stories of their martial art history, that's what they can do for an hour. They're always going to be welcome and always have a session at that festival. And I hope they continue to keep coming. But we have to recognize that sometimes people will not be there anymore. Now, if you're not a martial artist, you don't relate to this festival and these gentlemen that I'm talking about, that's fine. Think about things in your industry, your hobbies, things that you enjoy, things that you've wanted to do, but you've put it off. We can't put things off too long or we'll never get to do them. They won't be there anymore. Or we won't be here anymore. None of us really know how much longer we have. If you would have asked me 5 years ago about In-Wan Kim, when he was 55 and I was 51, I'd say the two of us were really healthy and we're going to be at that festival for decades to come. And then cancer came. None of us know. Eric says, do you struggle with wondering who the next group of grandmasters are? Who's going to step up? Who's the next person to bring all their passion to it? Actually, we're already seeing those, Eric. So I don't know if it's a struggle. One of the grandmasters who teaches every year, he's closer to 80 than 70 now, Special Forces veteran of Vietnam era. I mean, he was a Special Forces soldier in Vietnam, a wonderful man, Grandmaster Jim McMurray. He had one of his students teaching this year. So it was very interesting to see Grandmaster McMurray still taught a session, but one of his students taught for the first time, and Michael did a fantastic job, Robert did a fantastic job teaching. So already setting up next generations of instructors, the younger people. I know that Jim Farrelly, his son Nick, is teaching now. And so we have the passing on to people that will still continue the tradition and keep things going, even as the elders, we lose them through time or whatnot. Eric says we have the same thing in the pizza community. We all have an expiration date, except Randy. He'll outlive us all. Randy Chafee. Okay. But it's true. We all do. And so we need to take delight in the things while we still have them and while we're still here. I'm going to Disneyland next week. And one of the things I talked to my wife is our daughter was coming home for a short time before she goes to Korea for a summer program in college. But next year, we don't know what she's doing. What if she gets an internship and can't come home for the summer? And the following year, the same thing. And then she gets a job right out of college and she's living far away. How many more times is it going to be easy for us to take trips to Disney or different things? So we're going this year because we don't know if we could go next year or the following year. We don't know our daughter's plans. And we're not going to have a Disney trip if she has a great internship somewhere or when she gets a job or when she has her own family. Maybe then we can make trips in the future with grandkids and her. But it was an opportunity. We had to take it. And that's what all of us need to do. If there are things you've been putting off, I'll get to it someday. Take some time right now and make sure you do them if they're important. Now, I'm not saying go crazy and spend the money that you don't have because you always wanted a round the world trip. No, we got to be reasonable, but make the plans, save the money, do the events, do the things with the people that you care about, that you've wanted to meet, where you've wanted to go, because nothing is permanent. And we have to take delight while we still have it, while we still can. Dixon says he's the great procrastinator. But Dixon, you've also been at the Korean Martial Art Festival for just about every one of them there. And so you know these gentlemen I've been talking about, the ones we've lost and the ones that may not be coming much longer. They've already said it's getting harder to travel. But maybe there's other things in your life that you're procrastinating on, and it's time to do it. Because you and I aren't young chickens either, Dixon. We're getting up there, and nobody knows. And because we don't know, it's that much more important to make every day count, to do those important things, to hug our loved ones, spend time with them, answer that call, go do things. That's my message today. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about a book or two. Hope you join me then. Appreciate everybody joining me today in the comments and such. Take care. Stay safe. Get out and delight in something while you still have it.